So after weeks of silence, we can now finally discuss publicly about the alt mode and the extra pieces that come with Studio Series 86 Voyager class Scourge. Now, we got to see the robot mode, we had the leaked images, and I kind of put out the better version of that later on. But yeah, now we have the alt mode here, courtesy of one of the reviewers online, and all the little extra accessories and stuff that come with it. Now, the alt mode itself is based heavily on Fluro Deary's alt mode design and the character model used for the 86 movie and later on the TV series. Scourge was one of those characters, much like some of the other early Fluro Deary original designs, that their early concept art designs varied very differently than the final ones. But Scourge was one of those characters that, while the robot mode had a little tweaks here and there, both in coloration and in overall aesthetic, the alt mode, or the sweep mode, if you will, the hovercraft mode, more or less stayed the same, and it stays true to that. Looks very good, it rolls, it's very nice, that's awesome. What the reviewer left out in this review, which was unfortunate, is that there is the classic sweep Scourge face reveal communication. Do you want me to gut Ultra Magnus? If you remember that scene from the 86 movie where he kind of pops his head out to talk to Galvatron, you are able to do that. The piece folds down and you are able to reenact that. They left it out here in the review. The reviewer he is what he is. Not very good at what he does, but he's very good at paying premium money for stolen product. But that's a whole other discussion. The gun itself, based off of, again, the Fluro Deary design, very accurate to that of what was also used with the toy model. So nice little touch there to have that also available. Again, not much that could be said really outside of effect pieces. We do have the one effects piece that is included. It's only one, unfortunately. It's actually intended to be used for the gun, but could also be plugged on the back to be kind of representing a thruster. But because there's two peg pieces on the back and you only have the one effects piece, it will look kind of weird. But it is what it is. From some angles, I guess it could kind of look nice for photography and stuff like that. When you get into the transformation into the robot mode, we're talking more or less stuff that we've already covered, the great paint applications and all of that to it. The only thing that's worth mentioning that is, I guess, probably worth talking about now is he is going to have a bit of a significant backpack. You can kind of move around the pieces to make it less obvious, but it's all part of doing that cape thing. Again, when you're going to have a character that's really known for his giant gaping cape, and it also comes from a character that really was a shell former in his previous incarnations of toy technology, you got to really try to work with that backpack as much as possible. Also, a little side note, if you want to use a matrix of leadership and store it in his chest, you can unpeg his head up back and put a matrix of leadership in there. Although the one matrix of leaderships, the only one version of the matrix of leadership in my testing does fit in there, and it would be the Mega SCF PVC matrix, which is slightly smaller than the more standard ones that we have been given through masterpieces and various incarnations throughout the year. So if you want to put a matrix in him to make him all corrupted and messed up from Bird and Hardest to Bear season 3 episode, you'll have to get a Mega SCF PVC figure, Hot Rod, Rodimus Prime, or Optimus Prime. They all come with the matrix of leadership, so you could pick up those guys relatively cheap too. The secondary market on those are nothing today. But yeah, so that's another thing to know. The last thing also that wasn't pointed out before is he does have two different kinds of hand sculpts. There isn't a synergy there between his two hand sculpts. He has a right hand that is a closed fist with a peg hole, and then he has a left hand that is an open fist with a trigger finger kind of pose. So on top of the nice paint on the fingers, we still have like something that's a little weird for some people. So when you don't have the weapons in his hands, it will be kind of, I don't know, it will be kind of off-putting for some people. You could, I guess, pose it in certain ways that he's kind of like he's pointing or something, I guess. I know that people have this problem with a lot of G.I. Joe figures and some of the Star Wars Black Series figures where they have trigger finger hands and they don't have much else. And then when they don't have their guns in their hands, it looks kind of like, you know, they just have like, they're either giving you the wink and the gun in two hands, the A, or they're that's a really dated reference, or they're like just pointing with two fingers or something. I don't know. But it is what it is. It's, again, really cool. These are some knockout figures that are going to be coming out next year, and Hasbro still hasn't officially revealed anything yet, but it will be in the near future, probably around November, December. Some stuff will be officially revealed through little segments and everything. Nothing written in stone just yet. But this is great stuff. Weapons peg on the side, the typical peg weapons here and there. Once again, a incredible product from Hasbro for the 86 line. From what we've seen, everything has been pretty much amazing. So whatever we're going to have next, whether it be Jazz, whether it be the Dinobots, it's all going to be incredible product. So let's get hyped for that. Let's get excited, and let me know what you think about the Sweeps, Scourge, and the army building that's probably going to have to come from this Voyager class figure. But this is awesome stuff. Let me know what you think.